I completely forgot the TikTok thing. I'll do it later. Yep, everything's looking good. I'm doxed again. Looks fine to me. Ah, the PC's still doing fine. Yep, sure is. But chat, I was looking at new PCs recently, man. You know, after doing a little bit of browsing, the best PC to probably get is... Yo, this better not dox me, I swear. Every time I open up Firefox, it doxes my exact location. Like, why? Why you do that to me, huh? What's wrong with you? Yeah, turn that off. Yep, do that. I was looking at the PCs recently, and look, I've come to the decision on what we're gonna buy. Chat, the PC we're gonna buy is this. The highest, most expensive PC that they have. It's 1,000. It's basically 13K. My goodness me. This is the PC we're probably gonna get in the future because I don't really have to look at the specs. It's looking pretty juicy, man. Look at those specs, bro. Oh my goodness. Now, mainly the reason why I'm probably just gonna buy this one as well. First of all, it's from MSI, right? So, since it's from MSI, it's like from an actual company, okay? Now, there's a difference between the HP Omen and the MSI. Now, honestly, when I look at the differences, the prices are the exact same, pretty much. However, the HP Omen seems to have like half the RAM. Not exactly sure how the MSI has got twice the RAM. I mean, we could always look at the specs. They're the same price. However, does this come with warranty? Because what's really attracting me right now is that this has got, first of all, it's got Wi-Fi 7. This has got Wi-Fi 6E. This has only got 1 year warranty. This has got 3-year warranty. Okay. Not exactly sure what the difference is. Let's have a look, shall we? Like, what is actually the difference? They're both the same price. I think it's maybe because MSI is using their own parts to build the thing, right? Look at this. Both have the same CPU. Both have... I think it's because the MSI is using their own 5090. MSI is using their own 5090 GPU. That's why. I don't know. See, man, that's GC GPU. Yeah, hold on. 5K, 5K. Does MSI even? I'm not an expert. Look. Whoa, the MSI RD9 is like more expensive than everything. Oh no, that's the different one. That's this one here. All I know is that, honestly, what kind of RAM are they using? They're using some kind of RAM. Not exactly sure what it is, but somehow it's 128 gigs. I mean, hey, don't want to be too geeked out about it, but honestly, the MSI one's probably the best deal, considering that it's like... I'm not even sure if it's a good deal. I don't know. I feel like a lot of them... I feel like it's like $1,000 extra for the screen. That screen is like probably the most useless screen ever. Yeah, but we are gonna probably get we are gonna get like a OP PC, okay? Now the PB Pro Creator, I was looking at that too. However, the only thing about this is it's not actually 10K. It's actually, it's pretty much 12K. Yeah, it's pretty much 12K because you need the PB plan, which is basically just 3-year warranty. So pretty much the actual real price is in fact, the real price is actually 12K as well. So this PC is actually just 12K. Why do I have 3 of them things? Jeez. What's wrong with that? Yeah. See, 12K. This is 12K. The HP Omen though apparently is on sale. That sale is actually kind of disgusting. That's straight up like a 2K sale. Again though. Actually that's not too bad considering that that's the price there. There is a... What is there? What's the difference? These two look the exact same. What is the difference here? I don't understand. They both look the exact same. These look the exact same. I swear they're the same. Something's up. Something's up. Why are these two completely different? One's got a sale, one doesn't. There must be something up. No, just one has a sale and one doesn't. Both the same. Honestly, the HBO Omen is not too bad now that I think about it. Well, if we're looking at the promo code price, 10,400. I mean, like I said, the only reason I get a PC is for long-term 4K. We'll get like 4K footage. We'll also get We'll get like the best CPU that is in the market. Yeah, I mean, doesn't look that bad. Looks pretty good, man. 10K though. Wow. $10,000. Yo, that's crazy. Graphics. It's just a NVIDIA GeForce. But the MSI one's using the MSI GPU. So, let's have a look, shall we? What's the difference between these two? GDD. GDDR? Oh, this one here. GDDR. And this one's just using the... Wait, what? There's no difference. There's not really much difference. All I know is they're expensive. Again, though, like I said, in the future, we definitely gonna get a OP PC. All right, that's for sure. We're gonna get a very good PC. Gonna be expensive, but it is what it is. Again, this PB Pro one isn't really that interesting anymore, considering that the is actually 12K with the 3-year warranty. The HP Omen those only got 1-year warranty, which is it's a bit interesting. Only 1-year warranty. I mean, like, you know, 1-year warranty, but you save like $1,800. Okay. Not wait. If I add this, can you extend a warranty? I just buy another one for breaks, right? It is what it is. It's expensive though, man. 10K. Hey, the only reason I'm looking at PCs is because all the games we be playing lately is just upgrades and upgrades. I'm like, you know, technically the streaming thing's also a game to a degree, if you look at it in that way. And I'm still using my little 2022 PC. It's still popping though. I mean, it runs Subnautica absolutely fine. It runs streaming absolutely fine. It can run 4K OBS recordings. However, my monitor ain't 4K. Like, this monitor is 1080p, so I just play 1080p. And plus, like, everyone just sees it 1080p anyways. If I do get a OP PC, I'm gonna have to get an OP monitor, which is like 2K. Jeez. I mean, it's an investment though. Kind of like the video game. Only thing this PC can't do is run multi-streaming, which is mainly the CPU issue. But I ain't upgrading the CPU, bro. Might as well just get a long-term thing. I mean, this looks pretty juicy, I ain't gonna lie. No joke. That promo is actually kind of insane. Cause like, yo, that's actually insane, I ain't gonna lie. Again though, in the future, it's either the MSI Meg or the HB Omen. I'm not gonna get the PB. I'm not gonna get the PBTX Pro Creator because, well, it looks like it's cheaper, but when you get the warranty plan, it's not really. It's not really cheaper at all. Matter of fact, it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? So, yeah, just browsing some PCs that I'm not gonna buy. I'm not sure why, but it's just like, in the future, 100% we're gonna buy these, one of these. Not exactly sure which one, but whatever it is. Honestly, I'll probably just get this one because of that promo price. We can get that monitor for free, pretty much. I mean, it ain't real. It's just numbers on the screen. And like I said, I don't really need to upgrade the PC right now, but it's just an idea. Righty ho. What's on today's horror stories? Is there anything Mr. Nightmare's got today? My posture is really bad right now. I'm like leaning into the desk. Alright, Mr. Nightmare, you got any horror stories? If not, I'll look at someone else. Yesterday wasn't that good. Mr. Nightmare, do you got anything good today? What do you got today for me? You ain't got nothing good? You got members only stuff though. Man. Is this new? True horror story? Some of these were like members only before. We did watch that. True Stalker X stories. Nah. Summer Night, we watched that. I'm not interested in the Deja Vu one. That one's really hard to track. Beach House. Ooh, Beach Houses are kind of interesting. Uber's a gamble. Last Day of School horror stories. What? How's that even a horror thing? When the police can't help. You know what? Scrapped. I feel like we should do a little small one today because we're already 12 minutes in and I was just talking about PCs. Let's see. Oh my, these are so long, bro. We're gonna end up spending more time searching than listening. It's not good. Dude, these are like long. Psychopath horror stories. Man. Mr. Nightmare's the GOAT, of course, but I'm pretty sure there's like another one, right? Yo, remember when Corpse Husband used to do that? Before he became like a... I don't know what happened to him. But Corpse Husband used to do the same thing as Mr. Nightmare before he went into that, like... Before he went into the gaming phase. But as like old ones were actually... Before he did all this Among Us stuff, he actually did do horror stories. Yeah, like look. 8 years ago, man. You know what? As could contribute, his thing's actually quite short, so let's actually listen to one. Which one do we choose? Camping stories. Yep, let's go. Let's see Corpse.
Are you hunting for that perfect, irresistible brown shade?
You know, I actually used to watch Corpse Husband, but his horror stories, because he was like pretty much Mr. Nightmare level, because his voice is so deep and scary. Before he went into like Twitch.
I'm a 24-year-old male now, but this story takes place when I was about 14 years old.
Oh, I should give it
Growing up, I lived in a neighborhood on the edge of a small desert town in Southern California. Running along the west side of this town is a huge winding canyon with a small river running through it. And as a kid, me and my friends spent a lot of time running through it and exploring it. Directly across the street from the house I lived in at the time is some type of electrical station. Just to the right of that is an old field. This old field is at the top of the river bottom and then levels of more old fields after that, like huge curved steps leading down to the bottom. By fields, I mean that they were once used for agricultural purposes, but at this point...
Damn, I'm spoiled from Mr. Nightmare's voice. I can't listen to this. I don't know why. It's like faster paced, right? You know what I mean? What's wrong with me? Yo, I barely understood like the first 2 minutes. Or like, Mr. Nightmare speaks way more like calmer or like slower, right?
They were basically just huge overgrown dirt lots.
Okay,
Well, one night, a group of at least 6 of us decided to go camp overnight down.
Okay, 6 men going camping.
30 years old, and I share a house.
Mr. Nightmare's voice is way better. I ain't gonna lie. Mr. Nightmare's voice is definitely a lot better during horror things. W Mr. Nightmare. Too bad he's like slow. Who's another horror story guy that does something similar to Mr. Nightmare? Corpse Husband used to do that. The animated ones are a bit too long. I'm gonna be real. Untold Fears, Mr. Night Scares, Mr. Skeleton. But careful, cause like, man, these are long. Alright, let's just do Corpse Husband. We're gonna do some. I think we're gonna go do our little job again. The barista.
Lots and just told our parents that we were staying at a friend's house.
Okay.
We just planned on having a fire, playing some guitar, and drinking a couple of beers.
Alright, 6 men. 6 men going camping. That sounds pretty easy to me. I ain't gonna lie. What do you? 6 of you guys.
Like I mentioned before, there are multiple levels here, and the hills in between each level are pretty steep. But there's a dirt road that runs along the side and goes all the way down to the bottom. The road starts right next to the entrance gate of the electrical station, which is only a couple of 100 feet from the street and has a bright light illuminating the area around it.
Okay.
Let's just call it the entrance light.
Yep.
So we walked down a couple of levels and set up at the bottom of the second to last hill, not too far from the dirt road.
Yep.
We get a fire going, play some music, and start having a pretty cool time. We were being pretty loud though and had a pretty big fire going. So every once in a while, one of us would run up the steep hill behind us to take a look around and make sure that the fire wasn't getting too big. At some point, I walked off to take a leak. And on the way back, I decided to make a quick run up the hill to make sure the coast was clear. I take a quick scan around and see something moving around by the top of the road, which I can only see because of the entrance light behind whatever it was. I back up and move down the hill a bit so only my head is peeking over. I try to signal down the guys, but no one is paying attention to me. When I look back up, my eyes adjust more and I see what looks like the silhouette of a man, not walking back and forth, but walking in a circle.
Okay.
A tight circle. My first thought was, maybe they're on the phone. But then I see both arms swinging at their sides. I don't know exactly what time it was, but I remember that it was pretty late. What the hell was this person doing out here?
Why is my monitor so...
The night, by themselves, walking in circles. I can hear the guys behind me still laughing and talking. I turn back and see my friend Paul heading up the hill to see what I was doing. I signaled for him to keep low and pointed up at the person. Not long after, all of our heads were lined up peeking over the top of the hill. We were all giggling and whispering to each other, trying to figure out what the hell this person was doing. The longer we watched though, and the more we paid attention, the creepier it got. Something about the way they moved was just unnatural. We start breaking back into whispered conversation when the person stops. They turn and face our direction. The moon was out that night, but we were a few 100 yards away and in the dark, so I was sure that they couldn't see.
I mean, I'm gonna be real though. It's 6 of you guys, so yeah, I'm pretty confident. I'll be honest. You know, if it was like maybe 2 people, would be a bit scuffed, but if there's 6 men them in the woods with a fire, that creature probably more scared of you. I'm gonna be real. Come on, there's 6 of you. Come on now, 6 of you. You're basically invincible. A group of men, you're literally invincible. Even a single psychopath killer wouldn't deal with 6 boys, 6 men. Like 6 men's enough to. You're literally like you're good. 6 of you boys, you're good. You're basically unstoppable. You know, a man them's always pretty much impossible. The boys, impossible to stop. 6 of them, yeah, you're cooked. You ain't gonna beat any. If they're all like solid, if the whole group of men solid, it's like impossible. Even if they're like not solid, they're still impossible to beat.
Or hear us, but it really felt like they could, like they were looking right at us.
Yeah, but it's 6 of you guys.
I took a glance back and saw that the fire had died down some, so I know that it wasn't that. Then all of a sudden they start walking, not down the dirt road next to them, but down the rough, steep hill in front of them, out of the light, out of sight, directly towards us. We all flipped out and went flailing down the hill. We got to the bottom and started grabbing our stuff and kicking.
What? Why are you all running away? Just run at it. 6 of you guys, come on now. Man.
Out the fire. The only place to really go or hide was further down the river bottom, or to a large tree a little further down the road surrounded by thick bushes. I grabbed my guitar and started running towards the tree, which was maybe 100 yards away. Not even halfway there, I look over and about 30 feet away I see a tent floating across the field next to me.
Aotearoa, New Zealand, home to half the world's whale species. Seabed mining company
I don't care. Mine to see.
Decided that they were going to bring the whole damn tent with us to hide. It was actually pretty hilarious. You couldn't see their legs or anything. Just this big ass tent still put together bounding across a damn field.
What?
Anyways, all of us, including the impressively sturdy tent, made it to the tree. Me, thinking that the person would be coming straight down the hill and not down the road, I went around and hid on the far side between some bushes. A minute or two passes and we quiet down. Then we start to hear very clear, heavy footsteps getting closer, but they're from the road. Me and my buddy Larry are right next to the road, only a couple of small bushes separating us. We sat there with our pocket knives out.
You guys are good, man. Come on. You're all armed and strapped.
Just in case, and the steps continued getting closer. I want to mention that at this point, I wasn't exactly shitting myself.
Yeah, because there's 6 of you
It
guys.
was really creepy, but it was more just this bizarre thing that was happening. What happens next, though, I still can't explain. And this is what still freaks me out about this night. The footsteps were loud and they were getting really close. They make their way towards the end of the bushes right next to me, of course, and they stop. They were maybe 5 feet away from us. Me and Larry look at each other in complete confusion. We just sit there, holding our knives, listening and waiting. After a few minutes of silence, I can't stand it anymore. As slowly and quietly as possible, I stand up and peek out into the road, fully expecting to see someone standing there, but I don't see anything. I walk out of the bushes and out onto the road. There was absolutely nothing there. It was so quiet out there that whoever this was couldn't have gone in any direction, or really moved at all without us hearing it. But there I stood, and there was nothing. They just vanished. I called everyone out, and we just stood there on the road, confused. Eventually, we all left because we definitely weren't going to stay there. We all ended up crashing at my house that night. One of the strangest and creepiest experiences I've ever had.
That was not even scary. You're 6 of you guys and you had all knives. How was it even scary? You know what was more scary? The creature probably found out, wow, there's 6 of these guys, let's get out of here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that wasn't even scary. That's not even scary. That's not even creepy, because there's 6 of you guys, you're all armed with knives. Even if it was a crazy person, he wouldn't even stand a chance, because there's 6 of you. You would have all just jumped them anyways. So the creature obviously knew, and the creature was like, yep, nah, I ain't doing this. Just left. Oh well. Next. Just not a very good beginning. It is what it is. You can't get the best ones all the
I
time.
live in Columbia, Missouri. I'm 25 now, but this event took place when I was 17 and still in
17.
high school.
No, 17.
My family used to own roughly 60 acres southish of Columbia that backed right up to the Missouri River. When you stood at the highest point at the rear of the property, you could see the river snaking through the bottoms. It was a sight to see, one I really miss. In my high school years, before we sold the property in 2011 when I had since left for college, I would routinely drive to the property on weekends and camp in the backfield in the bed of my truck. Our property was surrounded by native burial mounds, however, there weren't any directly on our property. What we did have was a small cemetery set back a bit in the trees towards the rear of the property.
Cemetery?
I was sitting in the bed of my truck one particular fall evening that I had chosen to head down and camp. I had brush hogged a large clearing in the field I was sitting in the weekend before. I was enjoying my sweet tea in silence of the rural Missouri countryside when, on the opposite side of the clearing that was up against the woods, close to the small cemetery we had, I noticed a figure. The moon wasn't bright on this night, and I couldn't tell what exactly this thing was. However, I knew it wasn't any wild animal I had ever seen or that is native to central Missouri. It looked somewhat human, but definitely wasn't.
Okay, but you got a gun, right?
Slow and awkwardly and had weird angular looking limbs. The only thing I could clearly see was its eyes when it stopped and looked at me. My God, I had never seen anything like it to that point in my young life or since. They weren't glowing per se, but I could see them clearly as if this thing wanted me to fear it just by looking at its eyes. We were locked in for about 3 seconds when it made an awful screaming type noise. The closest I can relate it to is what I would imagine gravel in a garbage disposal would sound like. That's when I decided it was time to get out of Dodge and go home to sleep. It never advanced towards me or threatened me, but when it looked at me, a feeling of dread I've never matched again washed in. The purest form of dread you can imagine. Once I had clambered my way back into the truck and started driving out, I saw it turn around and skulk back into the woods towards the small cemetery previously mentioned. I have no idea what I actually saw, but the only thing I can think of is a skinwalker considering the native burial mounds and cemetery. That explanation doesn't make much sense either, since skinwalkers are generally entities seen in the southwest United States of America, not central Missouri river bluffs. If anyone has an idea of what it may have been other than that, I'd welcome input. The Osage and Missouri tribes are the ones that inhabited this area of Missouri. Just for general information. Concluding my story, as I mentioned previously, we sold the property in 2011, so I can't go back to provide any more details that may be relevant. I never camped on the property again, and whenever I did go back to brush hog or help the neighbor bale the hay, I always felt a bit of dread in that back field.
Man, that's not even scary, bro. You just saw a deer. Skinwalker, yeah, right. I mean, what can I even say about that story? I went over there and I saw a creature and it looked at me and I left. Smart move. Good job. That's it though. You know, I can't really comment on someone that's smart. He's smart. You know? See some kind of anomaly? Yeah, I'm out of here. I mean, you could be the dumb one, like, charge at it. I would have charged it. No, but I would just run. Or, like, not run, but I would be like, that don't look like no animal. Well, I'm camping in my truck. Might as well just drive out of here. You know what I mean? Like, he makes smart dude. What can I say about that story, man? He's smart. So he sees an anomaly. It makes a weird ass sound. Yeah, I'm just leaving. Cause he ain't got no gun. If he got a gun, maybe like shoot at it. You know, if he had a gun, I would probably just aim at it and shoot at it. I'd be like, yo, like see if it runs away first. But you know, yeah. I mean, like I said, he's smart. Smart, just left. Imagine he was like, and then I stayed the night. Then it's like, oh, GG. But he's smart, so honestly can't really say much about that story. Besides, you know, good job. You left. Smart. Next. Last one, chat. Not really the most scary ones, but it's because they're smart.
At Spotlight, save a massive 20 to 50% off a huge selection.
No way.
Including craft yarn, curtains and blinds.
What?
That's 20 to 50% off. Sale.
No way.
Spotlight, it's what you make it. Discounts apply to regular product prices. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Wow. A bunch of things at the end. Alright, last one, chat. 7 minutes, lock in.
I've been holding off on sharing this because I'm still kind of shaken from it. My family has always been hunters and usually stick to the same places when it comes to said hunts. My great-grandfather took my grandfather took my mom took me. It was always a good time going.
Alright, you guys all strapped.
Last year, during the deer and bear hunts, we went to San Juan Elk Ridge in southern Utah just like every other year. It's a really beautiful area next to a Native American reservation and another area called Beef Basin. Yeah, stupid name, right? So we set up our canvas wall tent, we being granddad, mom, and I, and we get camp all cozy and livable. At around 3:30 p.m., my grandpa and I went for a hike to see what we could find. With bears in the area, both of us always had guns on us.
Yeah, I mean, straps.
We had been here many times before, and both of us knew where we were at all times.
Okay.
But this hike felt different, like that stereotypical someone's watching me feeling. And I could tell it wasn't just me because my fearless 67-year-old granddad was gripping his rifle a little tighter than usual.
Damn! 67-year-old granddad with a rifle. He's locked in.
When I heard the whispers. Not loud enough to understand what they were saying, but loud enough to hear. They seemed to be coming from just ahead of us in a small clearing of trees. As
Watch
we
out.
came into the clearing, the whispers stopped.
Grandpa might be getting flashbacks from Vietnam.
Bucks we have ever seen right by the opposite tree line. So, being the hunter I was, I raised my gun and aimed for his heart.
Damn.
Bam. First shot misses. The deer doesn't even flinch. I can hear my grandpa whispering to shoot again. Bam. Second shot hits dead on. Through my scope, I can see that I hit him and I see blood pour from the wound. But the deer doesn't drop. Instead, he turns and looks at us for a few seconds before calmly walking back into the woods. What the fuck? I hear my grandpa say.
Chase it
It
down.
was good to know that I'm not crazy and that he saw that shit too. We go over to where it was and there was no blood on the ground at all, even after we saw the deer bleeding. At that point, it was almost dark, so we decided to go back to camp to talk about this immortal-ass deer. About halfway back, we hear the whispers again, but louder this time. It's obviously a man, but we still can't make anything out. We get to camp okay and sit in the tent to tell my mom what had happened. She was pretty scared and thought we should go home, which was a shit idea considering we were 8 hours south of where we lived. So we decide to just move camp the next day and settle in for bed. I wake up in the middle of the night to heavy footsteps outside the tent.
Get the gun
I
out.
could tell whatever it was on 2 legs and very big. The full moon was out, so when whatever it was gets to the front of the tent, I could see the silhouette of something at least 8 feet tall. It was thin as a tree branch with 2 long arms and huge scraggly antlers. I see its long arm reach to the front flap and then 3 long gray fingers start opening the door. I'm scared shitless and can't move due to fear. The flap opens enough to see the thing's face peeking in. Its eyes were like a cat's, glowing slightly green. But out of nowhere it stops and just stares at me. I'm sure it knew I was awake and scared out of my wits, but it closes the flap and walks back the way it came. That's when I passed out from fear.
Man.
Woke up the next morning to my granddad and mom making...
He lying. He had a dream. He had a bad dream. That's it. He lying. He ain't saw nothing. It was a dream. It was all a dream. It wasn't real. It wasn't real. It was a dream.
And I tell them about what I saw.
Yeah, right. You just had a dream.
Grandpa goes on to explain that what he thinks I saw was a skinwalker.
Nah, it was a dream.
I'm not sure if this is accurate, so excuse me if I'm wrong, but this is what he told me. He said they're pretty much corrupt native shaman that can shapeshift and cast spells.
Cap.
Explain the deer not dropping after being shot. Or possibly a Wendigo, which are monsters that people turn into after eating other humans. I honestly think that it was a Wendigo. After I got home that week, I read online about an old mine that collapsed in...
Wait, hold on. That's Until Dawn. My bad.
Locked people in that was a few miles away from where we were. I'm sure that being locked...
Like I said, the Wendigo ain't real. Because if y'all saw Until Dawn, that game we played, ain't no way they don't know about it. Those creatures are like crazy. They just kill everything and they, what is that it? Useless. Get hunted down.
...in a mine would make your buddies look pretty tasty. Either way, that was the scariest shit I've ever seen in
You had a bad dream? Oh, it's 4 stories. My bad. Alright. That was fast. Hey. He just had a dream, chat. He just had a dream. That's it. Just a little dream. Not real. Because if it was real, wouldn't he be dead? It was a dream, obviously. Oh, I woke up and I saw a creature and then I passed out. Shut up. You had a dream. Shut up. You literally had a dream. Shut up. Next. Boring. Oh, man.
I've never been a person to think that skinwalkers are real until one week ago.
This is just about things that aren't real.
Last week I went camping with my mom and we were in Strawberry, Arizona.
Why go camping with white people?
We're going to be camping for the weekend, starting Friday night to Sunday afternoon.
You know, chat, when I was talking about how, like, living in cabins is, like, dangerous and, like, you know, not having a little fence border is dangerous, right? You know what's worse? Camping. Because now you got none. But again, I will reframe. If you with the man dim, camping's G. If you with the boys, camping's all good because you are a bunch of you guys. But camping alone, stupid. I'm lying, huh? I'm lying because I'm gonna do that in the future in IRL streams. What am I doing? I'm saying camping's stupid, but I'm about to go camping in IRL. I'm literally gonna go camping in IRL. What am I doing? But again, I'm gonna be live streaming it, and you know I can't die, so I'll be all goods.
We arrived at about 6 o'clock and it was already dark. My mom started a small...
No, but the thing about camping, the difference between camping and living in the cabins is when you're camping, you're going to be strapped regardless. So there's like a level, there's a different level of like awareness. Because you're camping, you know that you're camping. But those people that are doing like cabins without fences, they are like doing dumb stuff. Like partying and stuff. And like, oh no. But like camping is like you're camping. So like you're a bit more locked in. Scenario's a bit different. Because you are camping, so you know that there is no walls. But people that are doing the cabin stuff are acting like there's walls. And then get shocked about having danger. Man.
Working on putting up our tents. We got that done about 30 minutes later.
Because like in camping, right, you're like locked in, ready to survive, right? Example of that story maybe 2 days ago about that guy with like $1 million cabin in the woodhouse watching a movie with like the homeless man tapping at the window with the knife. Now that is stupid because like you need a compound for that. But like that's because you're watching a movie and jerking. But like when you're camping, you ain't watching a movie, you ain't jerking. You're straight up just making a fire. You know, you got a strap nearby. You're good. You're locked in.
Our dinner, some s'mores, and went to bed. I woke up at 10 as I needed to go pee, so I got out a flashlight and went out to pee. A few moments later, I started walking back to my tent and I heard something scratching on what I assumed was wood. I stopped and I looked around. There was nothing there. I jogged back to my tent and got in. Within a few moments after I got into my tent, I heard the scratching again. It was closer now, way closer. After a minute or two, it went away. I fell asleep 15 minutes later. I was awoken to a loud screech. It sounded like it was within 20 feet of us. I didn't dare go out there with whatever that thing was. I was still half asleep and I turned on my flashlight in the tent and pointed it to the walls of the tent. Big mistake. It was attracted to my light and walked to it. I saw its silhouette come into view. It was a large figure. Everything about it seemed human at first. Then I noticed the fingers. They had what looked like to be claws instead. The height of it was larger than any person.
How do you know you're in the tent?
Its legs were not human-like.
Well, how do you know you're in the tent though?
They belonged to a goat. It started scratching on my tent, making holes in it. I saw a part of the tall figure. Its legs were, as I described before, goat-like. I was paralyzed. The thing scratched my leg while trying to get into my...
Why he lying now? He lying, bro. Wow, okay, you saw a creature. It made a hole in your tent and now it's scratching your leg. Like, what? That escalated quickly.
Tent and I kicked it. To my surprise, it didn't scratch me again whenever I did that. Then the creature started to shrink. This is the best way I can describe it. And it was what appeared to be a wolf, and it got on its back legs and ran. I shit you not, it ran on its back legs. I got a first aid kit out of my bag and...
The thing about Corpse Hudson's voice is like he's like shaking. Like he's shaking. He's like trying to add emotion to it.
Wrapped my leg. The cut wasn't too deep, but it was bleeding pretty good. I got out of my tent and went into my mom's tent. She was awake and as frightened as I was. Within 15 minutes, everything was in the car and we got out of there.
Okay, damn.
It was probably 3 in the morning whenever this happened and we got home at about 5 in the morning. Let's just say I'm not going camping again for a while. The user that sent me that story sent me a picture of the wound on their leg, but I don't think YouTube would allow me to show it, as there is a lot of blood. So unfortunately, I can't show you guys.
Not really the best video, I'll be honest, chat. I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't really that good. I mean, to be honest, it's 8 years ago, but scary. Because Skinwalkers aren't real, Wendigos aren't real. Y'all know it's not real. Just the same as ghosts, they ain't real, bro. You know? They ain't real. Because if they're real, you think we wouldn't catch him by now? You know what I mean? Most of them ran away, you know? They ain't really real, I'll be honest. Fishing horror stories, Mr. Nightmare. We go do that tomorrow. Tomorrow we go do fishing horror stories. That'll be kind of cool. But let me get this on a boat. We played Dredge. We did play Dredge, so I'm not really... Yeah, I mean... Not the best... Not very many interesting things today. Yeah, wasn't very interesting. What did we do today? Just talk about PCs and watch some Mr. Nightmare. Or no, watch some Corpse Husband. Again, can't really do any framework for those lessons because it's kind of just like, well... You know... Only listeners, if you go camping with the Mandim, you're good to go. What it's like being dependent on fentanyl. Who watched that? 284k people apparently. There are some down bad stuff in here. Paranormal police calls. Meh meh meh. Meh meh meh. Everything is boring. Nah, there ain't nothing good. Forest friends. Alright, Jet. Alright, I think we know what time it is though now. Hey, in the future, we're gonna get one of these two. It is what it is. You know, gotta do that. But y'all know what we're doing now. I think I'm ready to lock in, right? Hold on, before we actually lock in, let's have a look at the games. What kind of new releases are here today? There's always a new game, chat. There's always a new game that's releasing. What's this? No. What's this? The Nightling, released on the 29th of August. That kind of looks like Pyro, that Pyro game. Whispers of the House? Nah. Nah. Nah, there ain't nothing here. Wildgate? Nah. Date Everything? Nah. F1? Elden Ring? Wait, these are all released like today. Literally. Davy Jones? What the hell? No. That looks like a horror game. Hold on now. Garden of Banban 8. So there's like a whole entire series that we have no idea what the lore is about. Yeah, there ain't nothing here. It is what it is. Water Park Simulator is popping off, but it's getting carried by Queso. Again though, we got our own simulator game going on, you know what I mean? We know exactly what we're gonna do. I think I'm ready. The coffee kicked in a while ago, but it's just that those stories were so bad. Alright. Y'all know what time it is. Barista Simulator. Lock in. Alright. Woo! Let's go quick at the button. We're gonna start it. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Thing is, about we get to it. We get to it today. Is that good? Right. Lock in. Hold on. Let's change the thing on Twitch. Power. Wee. That, remember, we are calling the business. Here we go. Parasite Simulator. Alright. That, let's just chill out for a bit because man, that was actually insane. We cooked hard, huh? Let me check the YouTube channel. How's everything going? The Subnautica Below Zero episode. I actually exported this at 100,000 bits. I wonder if the quality is good or not. It should be really good, unless it's still rendering. 4K? Oh my goodness. Let's see if there's a difference between episode 1 and episode 2 and 3. This can go 1080p. Here. 1080p. Is that 1080p? No, it's not. There it is, 1080p. Let's look at the quality real quick. Not sure what they are. Oh! We are in... You know, it looks a lot nicer though during the day. I'll tell you. That's 1080p. 4K. It's 4K. You can't really tell right now because it's different settings. I couldn't tell. But this is 4K apparently. Well, the thing is, it's recorded on 1080p, but I exported at 4K. So I'm not exactly sure how good it looks. This was 1080p. I can't tell, man. Literally looks the exact same. Notifications. I think I already answered those. Should we check the TikTok? How's the TikTok? Man, that barista game is probably like the most hardest thing. But now we go look at the other game. Got some posts scheduled. Everything's looking decent. What kind of comments here? How's the comments in here? This is the real life game. Yep, I did all that. Chill. Yeah, nice. What's the difference? Can you guys even tell the difference? 4K footage? If it loads. Saying how dangerous it is over here. The game looks so good. And then we got 1080p. Might actually help us. I can't tell. I feel like 4K has helped the webcam a bit. I ain't gonna lie though, seriously though, that barista game, we had to work so incredibly hard just to get a waiter, and I feel like the waiter is gonna be like 50% of the speed we are at. Man, I gotta drink water from that. That's actually, I gotta like chill out for a bit. No joke, that was insane. Because the thing is, for Subnautica, it ain't gonna be a chill episode because we're about to go into the depths. We're about to go exploring in Subnautica. So, it's even worse. Ah. You had a good day so far? You guys enjoy that episode of the barista thing? I hope you guys did. Yo, hey, let's have a look at what's going on Twitch right now, shall we? Let's see what everyone else is doing on Twitch right now, shall we? What's everyone else doing anyways? Jinxie's just chatting. Who's that? I don't know who that is. Don't know who that is. Pokemon Go. Yeah, there ain't really much. Everyone follows Queso, that's crazy. Oh, okay, so it's her that's playing it, Valkyrie. Man. Man. Rightio. I think we're ready to do some Nautica Below Zero, huh? Y'all happy for some Below Zero? It's a good chilling game. Man, that ballistic game. I kinda wanna go back on it though, because I wanna see what that waiter does, but we gotta wait till tomorrow, right? We can't do too much in one episode. That was really 2 hours long. How long did I play that the first episode for? 2 hours as well. So similar, you know? And oh yeah, Doom Eternal. No one left a comment. So I don't think anyone wants to watch me play Doom Eternal. No one left a comment yet. Akuvac. Okay, I'm gonna give people slack. It only came out like a day. And guess what? Sometimes YouTube recommends videos like months later. Like I could record a video yesterday and then people watch it like 1 week later after it's uploaded. You know what I mean? So it's really random. A lot of my channel is mainly from people playing Roblox. Yeah, as you can see. Grow a Garden has a lot of the main things. Not many people watch the Slime Rancher series. Matter of fact, no one really watched the Slime Rancher series. It's okay. Well, I mean, I'm still gonna play Slime Rancher. We only paused it because we needed to wait until next month for the full update to come out, and we'll revisit it. Alright? And now we're gonna go Subnautica Below Zero because that game's fully released and it's pretty chill. W game so far though. This game here is actually insane. I know I should just go hop onto Below Zero, but right now I know that in Below Zero we got a lot of adventure to do, and I'm kind of just give me like a little smoke break. No, is that what they call it? Give me some smoke break. No Man's Sky. I never knew what that game was. What is this? All games by Artoon. Oh. Thank you, Steam. I do appreciate the warning, man. I do appreciate the warning. Elden Ring. Uncharted. Space Engineers. Am I seeing monsters? Wasn't that like an app game? I don't even know. What's this? Enshrouded? American Truck Simulator. Space Engineer. High on Life. I played that game. It was so bad. Actually, no, it was okay. Actually, no, I never finished it. We got that for free on the PS5, by the way, just saying. I think the only reason it's so cheap is because no one plays anymore. I think everyone's waiting for the newer one. Goat Simulator 3 is out. What's the... I don't even know why I'm scrolling here. We got so many games. I'm just chilling right now. Just wanna get a little smoke break from that entire shift, because that was like a job. Now, I understand why in real life restaurants have reservations now, because without reservations, that's actually utterly insane how long it takes. And realistically, food takes a lot longer to cook. That's why when you go to a restaurant, you kind of just go on your phone and wait, because that's why it takes like 30 plus minutes for your food, because they're actually hella busy. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time. I'm ready. Ready. I need to stand up for a bit. Hold on, stand up for a bit. Ugh. Stretch. You know, stretch. Yep. Stretch a bit. You know, it is what it is. muscles are like super sore. I don't know how. I've been sitting down. I haven't done anything. Maybe it's because it's hot or something. Look at that. I'm wearing a thermal. By the way, I had this thermal when I was a lot younger, but all I know is that this thermal is nice and warm, man. It's good. I think it's because the thermal wraps your muscles harder than the loose shirts. Oh well. Okay. Y'all ready? Lock in. Not yet. I need a... The game still says wee wee because we're... Okay. Below 0. Below 0. Lock in.